Okay, Bethany, we are right in the middle of holiday season. We've got a lot of family time coming, a lot of food coming, a lot of fun times and memories to be made, but also some stress.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stress that can come with the holiday season. So we are taking a trip down memory lane with our a little vintage episode of Steve and Bethany's Hopecast called The Holiday Survival Guide.
All right, welcome in, Hope Dealers. It is Thanksgiving Day.
Woo!
Welcome
Happy
to
Thanksgiving.
it. Yeah, if you are listening today, we are dropping the episode. It is Thanksgiving Day, and we are starting a new little tradition here because I think this episode needs to be played every Thanksgiving. It's that good, and I know that sounds like bragging and whatever, but when I went back and I listened to this episode, I was like, this is really good stuff.
Like it was encouraging for you.
It was almost like, it was like it wasn't even us doing it.
Well, it was 2020 Steve and Bethany giving advice to 2021 Steve and Bethany.
Right.
It's like a whole new world over here.
That's right. So we want you to listen to this because I really do think you're going to find a lot of great tips about how to handle the stress of the holidays. Mm-hmm. And then also we finish up the episode talking about how difficult the holidays can be when you've lost someone.
Right.
So we'll be discussing that as well. So it's all coming up. And then at the very end, we're going to come back here in 2021 and we're going to let you know who the winner of our Guess the Gobbler is.
I'm so excited about this.
So let's roll tape. We're going to be getting together for holidays, and that always means a lot of fun, a lot of laughter, a lot of going down memory lane, a lot of all of that. But it also can mean some bad things too. Mm-hmm. So when you get ready for holidays, what is the thing you're looking forward to the most?
Honestly, just being with everybody. I mean, this is going to be the first year that my entire family is going to be together on the same day, because I think if you've listened for a while, my brother and my sister-in-law were living in Minneapolis, and then they moved down here. And so normally over the holidays, we would either go up to Minneapolis for either Thanksgiving or for Christmas, not both. And, it would never really be on the day. It would be after and things like that, and just working out schedules. So this is going to be the first year that it will be my parents, my brother, my sister-in-law, my nephew, my sister, my brother-in-law, my husband, my sister-in-law's family is coming in. So we're going to have all them. And so it'll be a good group of people together for Thanksgiving this year, which is not kind of our normal routine. So I'm excited just to have everyone.
So
and
are you hosting?
Split it up. No, my brother and my sister-in-law are hosting because my brother's the chef. So he'll do
very good call.
Most of the cooking. So they're hosting. Yeah. They don't have a table though. That might be a little.
That kind of put a downer on things.
They moved into their house a couple months ago and have not found a dining room table yet.
They need our boys Chip-Away.
Well, I know.
You should have them contact Chip-Away.
Well, there is a whole thing. They were going to build the table. My brother's very handy that way. Mm-hmm. So they were going to build it, and then the lumberyard lost their wood. So
hate it when that happens.
They get a call and they're like, "Yeah, we can't find it." And so they're
lumberyard.
I know. I said you have one job. So they're postponing their project until after the holidays. So we're gonna do, I think, some like folding card tables or something and make it work.
Well, here's the thing that I know that you'll probably run into more so than I will, and probably everyone else will run into this too, is not just the one celebration for Thanksgiving, but you're gonna have to probably hit multiple things, right?
We're gonna have 3 this year.
3 Thanksgivings.
3 Thanksgivings. We
all
have
on the same day?
Over 2, 2 on Thanksgiving, 1 the day before.
Okay.
So my mother-in-law's side of the family, they all get together on Wednesday night and do Thanksgiving that day. Then Thanksgiving Day, we'll probably hang out with my side that morning and then go over to my father-in-law's side that afternoon. That's kind of the plan. But the thing is, we're slowly shaving off Thanksgivings. The first year that Cody and I were married, we had 5.
Wow.
And it was awful. Like, every Thanksgiving was really sweet and it was good to be with everybody. But at the very end of it, the 5th Thanksgiving, I looked at Cody and I said, we can't do this next year. It's fine. Like, we're good, but I am peopled out. I'm tired. Like, this is too much.
Well, see, that's what it turns into.
Right.
You know, a lot of times, I think a lot of people can relate to what you just said, is that it does turn into more of an endurance thing.
Yeah.
That you've got to get through. As much as you may enjoy being around some of those people and everything, it's just a lot. It can be overwhelming. And then when you have to pack it into 3 or 4 day weekend, it really can be a lot of stress. It can be a lot of, like you're saying, with a lot of different people in your life that you're having to be around, I mean, and you're constantly running and going, you can get snippy and little things can happen at the table that you don't really mean to happen and different kind of things. So when you're running around, especially in those 5, I mean, I know you get along with every single person that you had Thanksgiving with,
right?
But you were done.
Well, it's because this is how I'm wired. I'm an introverted extrovert. I love people, but I'm an introvert. And a lot of people, when they meet me, don't think that, because I do enjoy being around people. I like to talk, and engage and tell stories. But when I need to recharge, I need to be by myself. And so people wear me out after a while. Like when I've been around a lot of people, it gets very overwhelming, and like I get kind of anxious, and I'm like, okay, I've just been around people for too long. I need a break. So that day or string of days that we had, all of those Thanksgivings, it was really great. I mean, we loved everybody that we were with, but you're right. It was tiring. And so it wasn't so much about the interaction that I had with people. It was just me personally. I just felt tired. And I think that kind of revealed a part of my personality where I thought, okay, I need to be more intentional about carving out some space to be by myself or just be with Cody, and maybe say no to going to this Friendsgiving party, or, say, hey, we're not going to stay the whole day at this house. We're going to back off. And that sounds bad. I mean, it sounds like we don't like people. That's not it at all. But I think it is about knowing yourself and knowing your limits, where you're not going to look at holidays as something to dread or something to get through.
See, I'm at a different stage in life.
Right.
I have been through that stage. I never had 5 Thanksgivings, but I would have to travel. Usually my wife and I would decide when my parents lived in Louisiana, okay, we're going to be here with her family. We'll have to carve that out for Thanksgiving. We'll go to Christmas down to Louisiana, or vice versa. We would just work it out some way, and we would spend the holiday instead of trying to be on the road because it's such a long distance, But after we got through that kind of initial period of time, and we started, our kids started growing up, and my parents actually moved here, so that helped out a lot as well before they passed away. But now that's kind of the stage we're at. A lot of the older folks that were around 20 years ago are starting to pass away. There's not as many people anymore in the family, and we're at a stage where, my kids and my nieces and nephews and everything, they're getting up to ages of going to start their own families, but they're still a little ways away. So we have this kind of in-between time that we're at right now, where it's a lot of being around the same people, whether it's because our family happens to be a lot smaller now because of everything. And so now we're still there, but we spend still the same amount of time. We still want to, be together. And you're starting to see now that, not everybody's going to be around forever, and you want to take advantage of those times. Yeah. Because, 10 years ago, it was kind of stressful. It was kind of like, I'm tired of being around people. Now you're trying to think more, who knows how many more Thanksgivings we'll have with so-and-so. Right. You really want to make the most of the time of it. And that's kind of the stage we're at right now. Now, I can see a future coming up. My son is 19, and he's pretty serious with his girlfriend. My niece has already just gotten married this summer. So, they'll start to have their own the kids come along, and so that might break the family up even more, because that's what's going to happen is, as you and your husband start to have kids, now all of a sudden it'll start the universe of your family will start kind of shrinking down just to your mom and dad, and then your in-laws and brother and sister. So that's a little transition that'll happen too. But I think as you're going through all of that, no matter what stage that you're in, I think it's important to realize that as much as people can drive you crazy, and as much as sometimes, because there's always that one person that you're just like, Lord help me. That's that person that's the, Paul talked about the thorn in the flesh. Yeah. That's that one person.
And if you don't know who that person is, you might be that person.
That's probably you. I don't know. Exactly right. That's exactly right. So there's always that one person that you've kind of got to, kind of grit your teeth and get through and try to not, make anybody angry or try to walk on eggshells through. And when you're doing all that, it's important to remember that
this is just temporary, and you're not going to be around them forever. And that on the surface sounds great. You're not going to be around them forever. But, you know, when you start to really think about it, I think about people that I don't get to share Thanksgiving with anymore.
Oh,
you know, that have been a part of my life. You know, somebody as close as my mom and dad. My mom and dad both are gone now. But also some older family members that I used to spend every Thanksgiving with, had a lot of memories with. Now it's kind of different.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the same.
Well, and I think too, you know, it can, in some ways it can be challenging, like what you're saying, interacting with everybody. But I think what your perspective that you're sharing is really good because, Cody and I are both blessed. We love our families and we're both very close to our families. And honestly, everyone gets along. Like, we don't talk about things that generally can cause conflict. Like if we're all sitting at the table, it's about being together and just enjoying time with family. That's the focus on both sides. So I'm really grateful that we have that going in, but I do know that it's not always going to be like that because you're right. When we start having kids, you know, there's going to be just things that we're not able to do. You know, if we needed to drive a few hours to go to Thanksgiving, maybe that's not realistic for us or whatever, fill in the blank there. So I think it's important to kind of take advantage of the relationships that you have now and the opportunities that you have now, because in a few years it may look different. You never know what life is going to look like.
Yeah. And I think very much that a lot of times, if probably you're listening to this podcast, watching this podcast, you're probably in the same boat Bethany and I are, that you may be the peacemaker in the family. You know, sometimes you may have Aunt Karen and Uncle Joe maybe not get along so well. And you have to be the one to kind of make sure they stay separate and all that. And that can be tiring and time consuming and mentally, emotionally draining for you as well. But again, I think if I could give you any kind of encouragement is that it's what you said the other day, the other show was, it's only a certain amount of time. Soon it's going to be over. It's like when you were talking about all the stress of planning your sister's wedding. Look, November 1st, it's over with.
Right.
You know, we just got to get to November 1st. So, same kind of thing with this. So if you're going through that and you're kind of, you know, not necessarily looking forward to it, I think we both want to encourage you that to take a step back, look at the bigger picture, because those older people, like I say, they're not going to be around. You're going to wish sometimes that they are, and they're not. And then even the people that are hard to deal with, you know, this is going to be a time for you to be family, you know, and that's, look, and I say that I've been just as guilty thinking, I don't want to go spend 3 hours with so-and-so.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, oh, that's just such a drain. But looking back on it, I wouldn't take any of that back. Anything for it, I guess is what I'm saying. And then there's another part of Thanksgiving and Christmas and just the holidays in general, whether they be anniversaries or whatever, that are very hard too on some folks. And we're going to talk about that coming up and exactly those people who aren't looking forward to it. And we'll talk about that here in just a bit.
Well, we want to take a few minutes and just talk to you about our friend, Pat Davis. Pat Davis is yourhealthplanman.com. Go to his website and reach out to him because Pat is a sweet friend of ours, a great supporter of this podcast, and he wants to make sure that you have as much control over your health insurance as possible. A lot of the time, I think how health insurance companies are set up, it's that you have to pay this amount and there's sky-high premiums and all these deductibles and just fill in the blanks, and it's very cookie cutter. All these companies are set up kind of in the same way. But Pat Davis really wants to do something different, to be a little countercultural here. He wants to put you back in control of your health care and get off of that merry-go-round of health insurance.
Yeah, because a lot of times you're in this season of life where it comes up for re-enrollment in your health care. And you look around at work and you see their plan is a lot like the plans you would get individually. There's not a whole lot of difference. And you're thinking, well, this is just the way it is. But it's not, because the insurance company paying their part first, for some reason, is a revolutionary idea.
Don't know why.
It should not be that way.
Yeah.
I mean, you're paying the premiums, you're paying the deductibles. They should step in, right? I mean, it just seems like that's the logical progression of things. But it doesn't happen that way unless you talk to our friend Pat Davis. He can put you, like Bethany said, in control of your health care, where the insurance company pays the bill. And then if there's anything left over, that's when they're asking you to pay, not vice versa. So if that sounds appealing to you, in any way, shape, or form, give Pat a few minutes of your time. He'll schedule it right around your work schedule, whatever works best for you and your family. Let him explain how he could customize and save you up to 50%. A lot of folks are saving 50% on their premiums with little to no deductibles. Now just stop for a second and think about that. Half the premiums, little to no deductibles, and no copays.
It sounds too good to be true.
It does, but Pat can explain it to you. And look, if you sit down and you say, okay, I've listened to your presentation. I understand what you're offering, but I really like what I have. Hey, no harm, no foul. He just wants to be able to put this information into your hands so that you can make the best decision for you and your family.
Yeah, it's really about just being educated. And yeah, like Steve said, if it's not for you, no worries. It'll just cost you a few moments of your time. So be sure to go to yourhealthplanman.com to learn more. It's yourhealthplanman.com.
All right, so we're talking about how to survive the holidays, and we've talked about a lot of the positive things as far as being together and everybody kind of, for the most part, getting along and the whole thing. And we'll get to some more practical things, but I think it would be remiss if we didn't talk about those that are going to be feeling like, I just assume we just jump ahead to January 2nd and not mess with these holidays because of losses, whether they be losses of spouses or losses of other family members or even of pets. You know, I remember one year my aunt, she was my great aunt, she passed, her husband passed away years ago. And so she had a little dog and the dog was with her all the time. And so when it came to around, I want to say Halloween or something, the little dog passed away and it was really tough on her.
Yeah.
You know, for that holiday season, even though she was surrounded by family, the whole thing, it was a really big loss for her. And if that's you, if for whatever the reason, I was just on Facebook today. There's a friend of mine who has lost a daughter and her husband within about 6 months of one another.
Oh, wow.
And she even said today, I'm dreading the holidays.
Yeah.
With a heartbreak emoji, you know. And if that's you, I don't know other than to say that we're going to be praying for you. We're going to be thinking about you during this time because, I mean, I can't imagine how being left behind kind of, you know, especially if you're talking about a spouse. You know, you've been married for however many years and you gather all the family. So as happy as you are to see everybody, there's still kind of going to be a hole.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's important too, for those of us that's not our situation, to be sensitive to others that might be walking through that, to think about people in your church or in your neighborhood that are maybe widows or widowers or have lost a child or fill in the blank, have something going on that's heavy in their life. Be sensitive to that and just show them some extra kindness. Maybe invite them to your Thanksgiving or drop off, your Thanksgiving leftovers and say, hey, we're thinking about you guys. And we just wanted to provide this, for you to brighten up your day, or bake cookies with them. Like, do something to make them feel like they're not alone and to remind them that they still have people that care about them. Because I think that can be the train of thought is, I've lost these people in my life, so therefore I don't matter as much. And that's not true. And I think for those that are kind of on the outside looking in, we need to remind people of that and remind them that they still have value and purpose and come alongside them.
Because, I mean, if they're like you were in the situation that you were in, 5 Thanksgivings, your blinders are on and all you're doing is trying to get through one so we can get to another to get to the next. And you just sometimes miss that. And sometimes that kind of behavior, that kind of attitude where you're trying to keep everybody in your mind happy and keep all that, you're missing the real connection you can make with those people who are really hurting and maybe not always see it on the outside or to be able to see it on the outside. So if that's you, we're praying for you. If you have any kind of suggestions, something we'd love to hear from you as far as this kind of topic, whether it be, how to get through the holidays, what do you do, but we've got several practical ideas we were thinking about to be able to share.
Well, I was thinking, this is just more from my personal experience. Know yourself and know your limits and know what you're capable of. My personality is I am an overcommitter. I take on everything and a million other things and just say, oh yeah, I can do that. Of course, I'll help with that. I can handle that. And then I'm up till 1 a.m. worrying about all the things that I have to do and trying to figure out my day and my schedule. And I get overwhelmed where I don't actually enjoy it. And that first year that Cody and I were married, we had 5 Thanksgivings, or 5 or 6. We had a lot. And it was really about getting through and planning out the day and thinking about, well, it takes 20 minutes to drive here, and then we have to make this stop, and we have to do this, and are they going to be, left out if we don't see them? And it was stressful, and I did not really enjoy it. And so I've learned since then that I have my limits, and I need to be a little bit more proactive about guarding those limits and not bending over backwards if I don't have to, without being selfish, of course.
Sure.
It is a time to give and to spend time with family and to enjoy it, but also making sure that you can enjoy it. So I think just know yourself, know what you can handle and what you're capable of. And then also, you brought up sometimes there's always those people that are just a little bit difficult to deal with, but look at it from this perspective. They're family. Like, even if they drive you a little crazy, it's family. Everybody's family drives them a little crazy sometimes. That's life. And so God has placed those people in your life for a reason and for a purpose. And I think look at it as just an opportunity to show grace to people, to be patient, to be compassionate, and to really reflect Christ. Because if that difficult person doesn't know the Lord, you have the chance to show Christ to them. Yes. And that's a really powerful thing and a great opportunity that you have. So even if there are some people in your family or around the table this year that might get on your nerves, you'll be fine. It's a couple hours. You'll be all right. Just work through it.
I agree. And I think if you're in the person that's hosting kind of role and you're feeling the stress and you're feeling overwhelming. Now, again, this may not be the best for everybody, but I sometimes think if you go outside the box, instead of turkey this year, let's do an Italian meal let's do Mexican food. Something like that, something that might, bring some of the walls down. Now, the other side of that coin is somebody may just get totally offended that I don't have.
So it could break the family apart, or it could go over really well.
It's a very fine line. But I do think that that's something that can provide a little bit more joy. It can provide just something different. I'm always about something different. If you can't, make the best ever, do something different. And so I feel like maybe if you bring a different kind of food, or if you just have the whole theme differently, maybe that might
That
provide.
Reminds me, a good friend of mine, her entire family hates turkey, like all of them.
Why have turkey at Thanksgiving?
They don't. They do tacos. They have taco Thanksgiving.
I love it.
They've done it since the kids were little, and that's their thing. And I think that's genius. If you don't enjoy it, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Now, I will agree that something different is, sometimes right what the doctor ordered. But then there are people like my wife who's like, I have a chance to have my grandmother's dressing one time a year, and I don't want to ruin it.
Take advantage of that.
You know what I mean? So I get the fact that it could be the yin and the yang on that, but something just out of the box. Maybe you watch, I'll tell you something we never did. And of course, I don't know with the COVID if they'll do it this year or not, but the Thanksgiving parades, we never watched the parades.
Oh, I grew up watching those. That's huge.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Maybe you invite people over a little early, watch the parades, but I don't even know if this year they're going to have them. But, something a little different maybe can lighten the mood, maybe can provide something that will make people kind of come together a little more, even those that are on the frictional side. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think too, with the hosting thing, just take pressure off of yourself. I can be one that is like, if it's not perfect, is everybody going to be mad? Is it going to hate, all this stuff. And I just overthink about everything, this. And so, I think that's something that I'm learning to do, especially on the hosting side or on the cooking side. It might not be perfect, but it's family and they love you. It's fine. You're together. That's the main thing. Last year, this is a perfect example. Cody's his uncle dropped the turkey on the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah, fully dropped it. His uncle has a great sense of humor. He's
was
hysterical.
This out in the yard?
Yeah, it was in the yard. So
I remember this story.
Yeah, his cousins and his uncle are all standing around, and they cooked it. They cooked the turkey over at his uncle's house, and they carried it to his grandma's house in a little foil pan. And one of Cody's cousins almost dropped it. And his uncle was like, hey, be careful. Don't drop the turkey. That would ruin Thanksgiving. Don't drop it. Well, they get to his grandma's house, getting out of the truck, and it slips, rolls in the dirt, like picking up leaves.
No.
Oh, yeah, it was bad. And then, this is the best part. Cody's uncle goes, can't we just wash it off? And we're like, no. No, you can't wash it off.
That is so fun.
We showed up a little later, and we were like, where's the turkey? What's the deal? And the whole story came out.
So they didn't have, what did they do?
We just ate sides.
Really?
We didn't have Thanksgiving turkey, which honestly, I'm not that attached to turkey. I'm there for the sides anyway, so it was fine.
Well, see, I wonder, there you go.
It was no big
deal. What
deal.
if you just did all sides?
That would be my dream.
You know?
Yeah.
Just all sides.
Or
you
just
got the cranberry sauce?
Do ham. Ham's better than turkey.
A lot of people do the ham, you know? And then I actually have a friend of mine that she and her family, I think it's Christmas Day, because after they do all the opening of presents and everything, they go have lunch at a Chinese buffet because it's the only one.
Cody's family does that too.
It's the only, restaurants that's usually open.
Yeah.
And so they'll go and have their Thanksgiving. Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully those ideas maybe will spark something with you. We'd love to hear from you, especially in our new Facebook group.
Yeah.
We have just revamped that, and we're always looking for you to share memes, share posts, share something about your Thanksgiving. Maybe you'll help somebody else. Maybe something different out of the box that you guys do.
Yeah.
And you can maybe answer the age-old debate of, is macaroni and cheese, perfect for Thanksgiving? Because, I know. I have a lot of people.
That's what I would say.
A lot of people in my house would say it's a definite must.
I would not call it a must. I would call it a fun bonus.
I'm just saying.
Not a must.
You can do that. So
all in, what I would say is, I think with Thanksgiving and with Christmas around the corner too, have fun, take the pressure off of yourself, enjoy time with your family, and just soak in that opportunity, and then love on the people that are maybe dealing with loss this year too. That's what I'd say. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this week as we revisited one of our favorite episodes from last year about just how to survive the holidays, and we hope it was encouraging to you. We went back and listened to it, and it was definitely encouraging for us, and so
it really was
kind of a good reminder for us on how to just survive this holiday season and just to be an encouragement to you and your family. That's our goal, that's our heart, and that's what we're here for.
And before you make another leftover turkey sandwich, we want to leave you with the winner of our Guess the Gobbler. This is the game show that literally was sweeping the world for the month of November.
It's a little bit of an overstatement.
Well, we are heard on every continent except Antarctica.
That's true.
So
that's true.
I think it has all over the world.
It's impacted people's lives.
It certainly has. And we had one solitary person get it right. Now, if you're not sure what we're talking about, first of all, we've been. But secondly, we had a celebrity, a real big-time celebrity.
It wasn't like me or Steve doing it. It was like a real celebrity.
Do a turkey gobble. And then we said, okay, who's the voice? Who is the celebrity mystery turkey gobble? To give a prize away, $100 Steve and Bethany's gift bag. We still haven't decided on the full name of that.
I was just going to say prize pack.
Prize pack. Well, that's easier.
Well, whatever. It's something that's worth $100 and somebody was going to get it.
It's got T-shirt from Tina and Love Your Flair, a cap, also a coffee mug and some coffee and a devotional book. I mean, it's really nice.
Should we go ahead and play the gobble sound? Because I think
last time.
We need to tell people who it is, though. People that are listening.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me pull it up here.
All
okay.
Right, so here we go.
Ready?
Gobble, gobble.
Who was that? One more time.
One more time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gobble, gobble.
All right, now.
Okay, now it's short, but I think once we tell you who it is, I think you'll be able to hear it.
I think you need to probably play it again after we tell them.
Okay.
So, all right, so the celebrity that you just heard gobbling like a turkey was Dwayne Johnson.
The Rock himself.
That's right. Now play it again. Now you'll be able to hear it.
You can totally hear it.
Gobble, gobble.
That little grit, little
Gobble, gobble.
That's Dwayne.
That is. It's
100%. So yeah, thanks, Dwayne.
Yeah,
for gobbling.
absolutely. Absolutely. So we want to say congratulations. Where's the drum roll? Are we ready? There it is. We want to say congratulations to the only person who was able to correctly guess Dwayne Johnson, and her name was Patty Elmore. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You are going to get, yes, absolutely. Because we got, like I say, what did you call it last episode? Creative answers?
Creative answers.
They were very creative. Some of them I thought they're just trying to make me laugh.
Right.
Because I was like, that can't be a
legit
serious
guesses.
guess.
But yeah, people like Sam Elliott, Jeff
now,
Bridges.
Those deep, gravelly voice kind of guys
yeah.
were legitimate guesses, but then there was people that were like, come on.
Yeah.
It was just like, you got to be
pretty
kidding.
wide variety there.
Yes.
But yeah, Patty got Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So well done, Patty.
Yes.
And we are so glad that you participated in Guess the Gobbler.
And we will get your prize pack out to you ASAP. So congratulations to you. We want to say thank you again to Tina from Love Your Flair for not only the stuff for the prize pack, but also sponsoring today's podcast and being a part of us. She's become just a good friend. And she is got some amazing, cute stuff in the boutique that you can check out for yourself. I mean, holiday season's here. You're going to be able to buy some stuff for Christmas. She's got all kinds of neat little things, especially for those hard to buy for people on your list.
Yeah, the people that kind of have everything, I think they don't have anything from Love Your Flair. So go ahead, shop down below. The link is included in the description. And we also want to say a big thank you to Blue Stream Media for allowing us to record here. And if you have any events coming up in the next year as you look to 2022, if there's a wedding or a church event or fill in the blank, whatever you have on your schedule, Blue Stream Media is just the best way to go for all your audio visual needs. TJ's a total pro. He has backups to the backups to the backups to make sure that everything is perfect. So go ahead and check them out, bluestreammedia.com.
And I'm glad you resisted the temptation, like you said in rehearsal, of calling him Turkey, TJ.
What? No, I did not.
You told me the T stood for turkey.
Never came out of my mouth.
That's what she said.
Absolute lies. Who are you going to believe? This guy or me? Come on.
We also want to say thanks to all of our patrons who have jumped aboard at patreon.com/Steve and Bethany's Hopecast. They are, like Bethany described, as the OGs. They're our kind of support base.
I did say that. That is true.
That is true.
I did say that.
That is true. So they're our support base for not only financially, but I mean prayerfully and encouraging wise and show ideas and all kinds of stuff. We just have become a little kind of community.
Yeah.
And we would love for you to join and be a part. If you have been blessed by what we do here and you kind of see the vision of what we want to do, you starts at $5 a month, tiers do, and they go up from there. But we would love for you to join. Again, we got the links in the show notes for you there. And then if you want to check out anything else Steve and Bethany wise, just go to our website, steveandbethany.com. You can find all the episodes that are archived, all the videos that we've done, and just all kinds of stuff. Steve and Bethany wise is there available for you right here, right now on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, we want to say a big thank you to everybody for listening and just bringing us into your holiday. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. Good night, Olive Branch.
Bye, y'all.